A very good evening to all of you. Hello and welcome, guys. My name is Kishan Pratap Singh, and I welcome one and all to the 23rd episode of Weekly Law School. So, welcome Ishan, welcome Manav, welcome Adishri, welcome Prachi. Hello, Richa. Well, guys, if the audio is fine and all of you can see the screen, please write down yes in the chat box. Welcome Nanya, welcome Parth. Ishan says, why is Khan's case so hype in media? Because he's son of Shah Rukh Khan. Duh. Okay. Welcome Devanshu. Welcome Akshada, Prachi, Parth, Samiksha. Chile guys, thank you so much for the response. Let's start. So today we are not going to use Menti, rather we will definitely do a quiz and you people will answer on the chat box. First news item which I want to discuss. Before that, if you want to select the best quality, click on the settings tab. It's at the lower right hand of your screen. Pick the best quality available in your system. If you want to experience IMS CLET preparation, you can check it out for free by registering for our zero free program on imsindia.com. First news item is obviously Pegasus controversy. Now, what is Pegasus is the question that everyone should be able to answer. It is basically a software, it's a malware which was developed by an Israeli agency called NSO Group in the year 2010. Well, there are a couple of things which make this particular malware more deadly. Most important element is that Pegasus can infect your device with zero click attacks. That means, generally, in order to get malware or virus on your system, your smartphone or your laptop, you need to click on some suspicious link. But Pegasus does not require any such intervention. It can attack your system and take over all the relevant information. It can also take over control of your device without the user ever getting to know about it. So that means many of us might be under the scanner without having any clue about it. Chaliye, so let me just thank you Parth, thank you Manav. Chaliye, let's move on. The very first case in the world about Pegasus spyware was reported by Ahmed Mansoor in the year 2016. So in 2016, Ahmed Mansoor, he's a human rights activist in UAE. He was targeted with an SMS link on his iPhone. So this was way back in 2016. After that, Pegasus has developed more capabilities and now they can attack your phone even without requiring you to click on their link to access. Okay, so what is the background of this controversy in our country? Well, in 2019, WhatsApp sued US this firm NSA in USA. So in US, when Meta went to court for the very first time, world got to know that there is some NSO group which has created this deadly spyware, sophisticated spyware, which governments around the globe as well as some private entities are using in order to snoop on their opponents. In July 2021, many media houses all over the world, so 13 major media houses, they came up with a report. In this report, they released names of many people who were being snooped with the help of Pegasus. In their defense, this company stated that we sell our software only to governments. So we are not selling it to any private entity. So there is no risk of our software getting in the hands of, let's say, ultras or criminals. Only recognized governments are allowed to purchase this product. Well, when media reports started asking various head of the states, to no surprise, not even a single government accepted it openly that yes, we are using this software. Indian government also took a similar stand. Indian news portal called The Wire published a similar report in which they named 40 plus Indian uh, well-known people from public life. This list included names like Rahul Gandhi, Prashant Kishore. There were many journalists, there were political leaders, there were social activists. Well, when Response was sought from the Minister of Electronics and Information Technology, Ashwini Kumar. He gave a very dubious and confusing answer. In his statement given to the parliament, he stated that Government of India has neither denied nor admitted this snooping by spyware. So they are saying we are neither saying no or saying yes to your allegation. What does it mean? Nothing. It could mean anything. So, but there's a catch. This guy deliberately or might be mistakenly stated that no unauthorized interception has taken place. So minister क्या कह रहे हैं कि there is no unauthorized interception. So what does it mean? There are two possibilities. Either Government of India has authorized such interception. If yes, then this is blatantly illegal misuse of government power and government money, isn't it? Government is using public fund in order to spy on their political rivals as well as people that they hate. So like social activists. And if government has not used it, still people were being snooped with the help of Pegasus, it will amount to foreign aggression. How can some foreign company snoop on Indian public figures? Don't you think government of India should intervene and take stringent, so freedom of speech and expression? Okay, I will wait for a few seconds and then we'll resume. Let me check. Is it working now? I think yes. Manu says there might be some net issue on my side. Yes, that's true. Whenever I try to conduct this session from this particular center, internet is not very supportive. Okay, let's continue. Chale, so Pegasus controversy, I will repeat couple of things which I said earlier, presuming that some of you were not able to hear me. So Pegasus is a software, it's a malware, a spyware developed by an Israeli firm named NSO. They came up with this software in 2010. Now this company says that we sell our product only to governments. So we don't sell it to private entities or private companies. So only governments can avail our services. Well, WhatsApp sued this company in US court in 2019, claiming that they are accessing data of their users without any authorization or authentication from WhatsApp. So when this matter went to court, things came out in open. Pandora's box was opened up. So in July 2021, many media houses across the globe came up with a report, a detailed report in which they disclosed that how Pegasus software was being used by many state and non-state entities all over the world to snoop on people from the oppo- opponent's camp. That means their rivals. Well, this this spyware was for the very first time used against Ahmad Mansoor in 2016. This is the first known use. Ahmad Mansoor was a human rights activist in UAE. His phone was targeted using SMS link. Now Pegasus is way more difficult to find out because now they can attack your device even without requiring you to click on some suspicious link. So they have specialized zero click attacks. So what is the background in Indian context? So just like Amnesty International and other media houses published a report in their countries, in our country, The Wire came up with a similar report in which it mentioned that 40 plus Indian public figures, that list included politicians, journalists, social activists, public figures from the business arena, many people were being snooped on. That means government was listening to their conversation, government was accessing their data without their permission. Well, when this controversy rose up, IT Minister Ashwini Kumar was questioned on the floor of the House, to which he responded by saying that neither government denies it nor government admits it. So हम ना तो मना कर रहे हैं ना हम हाँ बोल रहे हैं. That means he didn't answer properly. But he slipped out a phrase that no unauthorized interception has taken place. तो उनका कहना है कि कोई unauthorized interception तो नहीं हुआ. चलिए. Okay, so this rather adds on to the confusion. If government is saying that no unauthorized interception took place, it could mean two things. Either government authorized these interceptions. If yes, then that's a serious violation or misuse of public money for personal vendetta. राहुल गांधी तो ठीक है, प्रशांत किशोर का फोन देख के कौन सा नेशनल इंटरेस्ट सर्व कर रहे हैं, isn't it? If government's statement is presumed to be government's response is presumed to be no, that means we have not authorized anyone to snoop or to spy, then even a bigger crisis comes up. Why? Because in that case some foreign agency or some foreign entity is using Pegasus to spy on Indian nationals. That means they're violating fundamental rights of Indian public figures or celebrities. Article 19(1)(a), that is freedom of speech and expression, as well as Article 21, right to life and liberty, are getting violated. Along with that, right to privacy was also provoked. Right to privacy is nowhere mentioned in our constitution. Right to privacy is considered to be part of Article 21, that is right to life. This was established in the landmark judgment of Puthuswamy. In Puthuswamy, it was established that right to privacy is a fundamental right which is part of right to life. Well, provisions of IT Act, provisions of Indian Telegraph Act are also being violated. So recently in this controversy, Supreme Court gave us some relief. They have decided to set up an expert committee which shall be headed by a retired Supreme Court judge, Justice R.V. Ravindran. So Justice Ravindran will be heading this committee and they will be investigating all complaints related to Pegasus controversy in Indian context. Bench headed by Chief Justice Ramana has requested this committee to get into the details to find out what were the steps taken by the government after reports were published in the year 2019. So if government is saying that we never authorized any such interception, then what did government do to prevent it? So even all this will be scrutinized and a report will be placed before the Supreme Court of India in coming months. Chaliye, so let's move on to another interesting news. Davis Rafael versus Henry Thomas. All of us, when we hear word inheritance, थोड़ा सा लालच मन में आ जाता है. So everybody might be hopeful that one day your parents, your grandparents will leave you a lot of fortune and you are going to inherit all your money. But can you inherit your father-in-law's property? This is the question that court had to answer in this particular controversy. So in this case, there's a son-in-law who is claiming that he has right on his father-in-law's property. And he is claiming that he was adopted by his father-in-law. This sounds weird and stupid at the same time. So let's say I got married to someone and if my father-in-law adopts me, then I became my spouse's sibling, isn't it? So this guy is saying that my father-in-law adopted me after marriage, so now I shall inherit his property. Well, father-in-law approached the court. In this case, petitioner is father-in-law. He is saying that this property belongs to me. I am in possession of the property. I even spend my own money to construct a house on this property and I am residing here with my family. And my son-in-law is troubling me on day-to-day basis. Well, the son-in-law, on the other hand, is claiming something similar. He's saying that I invested my personal money to construct house on this building and I'm also staying here and I have no other place to stay. And because my father-in-law adopted me a couple of years back, now I shall be given a share in this property. What do you think court will have? What will be the court's take on this? Okay, let's see. चलिए, तो प्रॉपर्टी तो सबको चाहिए, कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है. Father in law, son in law, daughter in law, whoever it is, if you think you can inherit something, you will try it out. Well, many people would. Well, court said that because father in law is still in the position, right, he is occupying that premise, and as per Indian succession laws, son in law is not considered to be a class 1 or class 2 heir in any of the customary norms. So, Kerala High Court has upheld the judgment given by the trial court and categorically stated that sons in law do not have any legal right over the fathers in law's properties. I hope this debate is settled. So, अगर आप शादी करते हैं तो प्लीज ससुर के गोद ना जाएं just to get some property. Let's move on to next one. Let me read a few comments. यही तो खूबसूरती हमारे देश की. जोजी says that son-in-law, why is he entitled to inherit in normal cases? Daughter will inherit. Okay. So Vanchika says that I think he said yes, I totally agree. Might be father-in-law said कि आज से तुम मेरे बेटे जैसे. Okay. Rahul Gandhi versus State of Jharkhand another. This is an old case and there is some development in this case right now. So couple of years back, when Modi's first regime was there, that means Modi government 1.0, uh, Vijay Mallya ran away from a country. Then Nirav Modi. Then there was another Modi in IPL. I tend to forget his name. Right. So when couple of Modis were giving bad name to the Modi surname, Rahul Gandhi took a jibe at our supreme leader, saying that why all thieves share the Modi surname. So why all thieves share the Modi surname? After this statement, an advocate in Ranchi, Pradeep Modi, filed a defamation suit. He is saying that this general statement against the Modis of the world is insulting and defamatory, and therefore Rahul Gandhi should give 20 crores as compensation to Modi's. Should give 20 crores as compensation to me because he has defamed the Modi surname. District Court has of Ranchi has issued summons. Summons means the court has called Rahul Gandhi to be present before the court of law on a specified date and time. So they have called Rahul Gandhi to appear. Rahul Gandhi didn't want to go there, so he has challenged this same order in the High Court. Matter goes to the High Court, and right now he got some sort of relief. Jharkhand High Court has extended the interim order in Gandhi's favor. So High Court has stated that till December 7th, lower court shall not coerce him, shall not force him to make himself available at the court. So that means we will get to see something interesting developing in this story next month. So keep your fingers crossed. Okay, but answer this question. If I say that all lawyers are liars, is this a defamatory statement? Can some lawyer sue me and say that I am an honest lawyer? How dare you say that lawyers are liars? Okay. Chaliye, Modi ji, answer this. So we have Modi ji in our chat box. Usually he's here. Is Modi here? Harsh. No, he's not here. Okay. Yes, no, yes, no, no. Answer should be no. Why? Because there's a defense available against defamation. There are multiple defenses available against defamation, and one such defense is a sweeping statement. When you are passing general statement, that will not count as defamation. So if I say that all Marwadis are stingy, that is not defamatory. If I say, let's say, all politicians are corrupt, that's a general sweeping statement. I'm not pinpointing any particular person or a group or entity, and hence my statement will not be counted as defamatory. Right? For example, if I say all people in Mumbai, all Mumbaikars are rowdy. Rowdy means ready to fight. Badmash. So if I say all Mumbaikars are rowdy, can some Mumbaikars sue me? File a case of defamation? Answer is no. If I say all Mumbaikars living in Borivali are rowdy, it is still not defamatory because again it's a sweeping statement. I am targeting so many people at the same time. But if I say people living in, let's say, Silver Gold apartment, Borivali West, building number A, are rowdy, then my statement becomes defamatory in nature because it's a very specified, identifiable group that I'm insulting. Okay, chaliye, let's move on to the next item. Kavitha Lankesh versus State of Karnataka. Some of you might know Gauri Lankesh controversy. So Gauri Lankesh was a rationalist, a social activist, and political and ideological mentor of these young leaders like Jignesh Mevani and Kanhaiya Kumar and Omar Khalid and some others. Well, she was shot dead in broad daylight in outside her home in Bangalore on 5th September 2017. So mentor was shot dead on Teachers Day. Well, those assailants were later on caught, and one more guy's name appeared. His name is Mr. Nayak, and allegation is that Mr. Nayak was harboring the assailants in that case. So a plea was submitted. The complaint was lodged under Section 302. Section 302 talks about. I think there's a lot more fun going on in the chat box today. Yes, all Delhi people use abusive language. I agree with you on this. Politicians are corrupt except Modi. Okay. Vinayk says, why statement against Modi is defamatory? Well, I don't think it is, right? But let the court decide. Let the court decide. This matter is still sub judice. Sub judice means it is still under consideration of a court. They haven't, they have not made up their mind. Okay, chali, let's move on. So, one this special leave petition is related to murder of Gauri Lankesh. What is the issue? Let me explain it in crux. Gauri Lankesh was killed outside her house in broad daylight. There were two guys who came on a bike. They fired multiple shots at her. She was a controversial figure. You can guess that from her surname, Lankesh. Have you ever come across any other Lankesh in your life? Is it a genuine Kannadiga surname? Well, I doubt. Anyways, so when she was killed, many people condemned that attack, including the current ruling government. Government of Maharashtra even decided to bury her, cremate her with state honor. One of the accused in this case, uh, Mr. Nayak, right now this SLP is related to him. So what happened is that Karnataka Control of Organized Crimes Act was invoked against him. So it's a more stringent statute. Jaise you might have heard about Kota and Gunda Act. UAPA is the new favorite of the central government. Similarly, at state level, there are multiple such statutes available. So there is Gukoka in Gujarat, Makoka in Maharashtra, and Kekoka in Karnataka. So Karnataka Control of Organized Crimes Act. So because complainant was alleging that this is an act of organized crime. So she wasn't killed by some random Sirfira who hated her. It was a hate crime committed by an organized gang. There's a syndicate and therefore provisions of Karnataka Control of Organized Crimes Act shall also be attracted. Further investigation was made. So first charge sheet made, Kekoka provisions were not used. Second charge sheet was filed after further investigation and Nayak's role was established. It was established that this person was harboring offenders. Sharan deke baitha tha, ghar mein chupaye the. So, therefore, permission was granted under section 24 of Kekoka Act and supplementary charge sheet was also filed. Second charge sheet was filed. Charge sheet basically means allegation sheet. After completing investigation, investigation officer, the policeman, will submit a report before the court. That is called final report slash charge sheet. If the investigation officer feels that there is no credible evidence available or he wasn't able to solve the case, then that report will be simply called final report. So that will give you a closure. Otherwise, if he was able to find some evidence against someone, then he will come up with a charge sheet, that is allegation sheet. Once charge sheet is submitted, it means investigation got concluded. Now that suspect will be brought before the court and he will be asked a simple straightforward question. These are the charges against you. Do you accept these charges or do you want to face a trial? आपको ये आरोप स्वीकार है या अन्वेक्षा चाहिए? So if you say yes, I want to face a trial, I'm not guilty, that from that moment trial commences. इसके बाद ट्रायल शुरू होता है, इससे पहले तक ट्रायल नहीं है, right? So second charge sheet was filed in this case. So the accused got upset. He approached the Karnataka High Court and Karnataka High Court quashed the second charge sheet. कोर्ट ने कहा कि इन्वेस्टिगेशन खत्म होने के बाद दोबारा इन्वेस्टिगेशन करके आप एडिशनल चार्ज शीट ला रहे हैं और ज्यादा स्ट्रिंजेंट प्रोविजन अप्लाई कर रहे हैं, तो ये गलत है, राइट? एंड नाउ sister of Gauri Lankesh, Kavitha Lankesh, was upset. She was one of the complainants. So she approached the Supreme Court of India and nothing new. Supreme Court has overturned High Court's verdict. So again, provisions of Kakoka were imposed on Mohan Nayak. That's it. This matter is still going on. So we'll read up more about it in upcoming sessions. Yes, Ashan, today's comments are really funny. Well, Izazur Rahman versus Saira Banu. This case relates to family law. A couple married in 1991. A meher amount was fixed at 5,000. Now, what is meher? Those of you who don't know, Muslim marriage, Islamic marriage is considered a contract. It's a civil contract of strong nature, but still a contract. So it needs to fulfill all the requirements of a valid contract. So there needs to be an offer, there needs to be acceptance. Witnesses should sign the nikah nama. Nikah nama, if you translate it, it means contract of marriage. So nikah nama is basically contract of marriage. Okay. So there is no contract without consideration. What is consideration? It is something in lieu of your promise. It is something of value which you are getting in return of your promise, right? So meher kya hota hai? So let's say if I am saying give me 100 rupees, I will give you this pen. So for me consideration is money and for you consideration is this pen, right? तो कुछ valuable आपको मिलता है, उसको हम consideration कहते हैं. अच्छा, so for example शादी हो रही है, सो अजाजुर रहमान की शादी हो रही है, तो हस्बैंड को तो वाइफ मिलने वाली है. वाइफ को क्या मिलेगा बदले में? व्हाट विल वाइफ गेट इन लिeu ऑफ मैरिज? लेट मी सी व्हाट पीपल हैव टू से. So consideration is something of value which you get in return of your promise. So शादी में, निकाह में, husband will get wife. What will the wife get in return? Shaurya says husband. Incorrect answer, Shaurya. I said something of value. कुछ valuable चीज की बात हो रही है. Husband की कोई value नहीं होती. And therefore, husband will have to give or at least promise to give something in return of marriage. And that amount is called meher. So meher can be symbolic. Let's say you can get married for 1 rupee meher, or it can go as high as you want. So it is also a social security amount. Husband can't divorce his wife without paying off the dowry. It's like a debt. जैसे आपने वाइफ से उधार ले लिया, वापस करने ही पड़ेंगे. So 5,000 rupees meher was fixed. Marriage was short-lived. Soon they decided to separate. Husband pronounced talaq. In Islamic law, husband has more powers as far as divorce is concerned. So husband ने wife को तलाक दे दिया by uttering talaq word thrice. And तलाकुल सुन्नत, not तलाकुल बिद्दत, proper way में 3 बार तलाक बोला इन्होंने, but रुक रुक के. And he also paid off meher amount of 900 rupees for her maintenance during the iddat period. Now another interesting word, idda. Idda या इद्दत का मतलब क्या होता है? In Islamic law, remarriage was allowed. So अगर आप निकाह तोड़ते हैं, आप कॉन्ट्रैक्ट तोड़ते हैं, नया कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कर सकते हैं. तो आप you can get married multiple times, as many times as you want, right? But husband has liberty to get married the very next day if he wants after divorce. Wife can't. Wife will have to wait for a certain period of time, and that period of waiting is called iddat. So during iddat, so what is the purpose behind having iddat? In case the lady is pregnant, we will get to know so that in future there is no dispute or controversy regarding the paternity of the child. So in case she is pregnant, we'll get to know in couple of months, and therefore we can find out that the previous husband is the legitimate father of this kid, and this kid will claim property from that particular person, right? Okay. Well, Parth is saying is husband is obliged to pay only 500. Is that it? Well, it depends on parties. Consideration should be there. Adequacy of consideration is irrelevant. Adequacy of consideration कभी matter नहीं करता है. Let's say uh, I want to sell you this pen for let's say 10 lakh rupees. Do you know ये कोई साधारण पेन नहीं है. ये पेन चाचा नेहरू का था. You know वो चाचा नेहरू जब वो मर रहे थे ना, तो उन्होंने डेथ बेड पे मुझे बुलाया था और कहा था केपी यू आर इंडियाज फ्यूचर, सो आई वांट टू गिव इट टू यू एंड यू सेल इट टू समवन इन फ्यूचर. अगर आपको कोई बहुत ही ब्राइट स्टूडेंट मिलता है बेच देना. सो आज के सेशन में जब मैं नाम पढ़ रहा हूँ, ईशान आई थिंक यू आर दैट गाय and I have an offer for you, only for you. This pen is worth 10 lakh rupees, but I am willing to give it to you only for 1000 rupees. Lifetime opportunity. Placement हो रहा है, देखिए कॉलेज जाने से पहले. If you can transfer 500 as down payment right now, I will courier this pen to your place. Sounds like a deal? Would you like to buy it? I'm serious about it. If anybody, it's an open offer. If anybody wants to buy this beautiful masterpiece for just 1000 rupees, get in touch. Well, what if somebody actually wants to buy it? That's that person's choice. The point that I want to put across is that adequacy of consideration is irrelevant. आप किसी चीज के लिए ज्यादा भी पे कर सकते हैं, कम भी पे कर सकते हैं. For example, do you know Salman how much money Salman Khan gets for hosting Big Boss? As per some reports, this guy is getting way about 10 cr per episode. I think that's overpriced. इतने पैसे में तो 10 अक्षय कुमार आ जाएंगे. Well, that's not how it works. So it is between the contracting parties. If they want, they can do it for 10 cr per episode. If they want, they can do it for 1 rupee. That is symbolic. Amitabh Bachchan became ambassador of Gujarat tourism and he charged only 1 rupee. Harish Salve represented India at the International Court of Justice. He charged only 1 rupee as a fee. That is symbolic. So similarly, iddat can be symbolic iddat, meher can be symbolic meher of 1 rupee, or it can be as much as you want, whatever the parties decide. Well, next thing is, so in this particular case, the couple got married, then they got separated. Husband was willing to pay meher, but only till the time of idda. Idda is period of waiting जब तक wife दूसरी शादी नहीं कर सकती. Generally, it is 4 months 10 days, but there are multiple types of iddat. The most, the longest one is iddatul wafa. Iddatul wafa means everything was going well, husband uh, dies suddenly, and because of this now wife can remarry, but she will have to wait for 4 months 10 days. Otherwise it also varies from reason to reason. If marriage was never consummated, अगर शादी कभी consummate हुआ ही नहीं है ना, husband and wife never got to live together, then there is no question of paternity, right? कोई dispute होगा ही नहीं. ऐसी सिचुएशन में इद्दत का पीरियड कितना होना चाहिए? लेट्स से निकाह होने वाला है, हस्बैंड वाइफ आमने सामने खड़े हैं एंड क्वेश्चन पूछा गया आपको ये निकाह कबूल है या नहीं. बिफोर हस्बैंड कुड से कबूल है कबूल है कबूल है, somebody enters the scene, मुन्ना भैया, and fires a shot, husband is dead. In this case there is no, the moment he says kabul hai, he is shot dead. Now husband is dead, wife is allowed to remarry, but she will how much time will she have to wait before remarrying? Answer, this time would be 0 days, because there is no dispute over paternity or pregnancy. Chaliye. So in this particular case, husband was willing to pay maintenance only during the time of iddat, that is that limited 4 months period. In 2002, this lady filed a civil suit seeking maintenance from the husband. In India, we follow personal laws. That means different communities are governed by different rules and regulations. So for Muslim community, we have Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Divorce Act 1986. ये famous शाहबानो judgment के बाद आया था. Find out what happened in शाहबानो case. Though we will cover it in important landmark judgments in some future class. Well, why is this news important? Because, cutting long story short, lower court gave verdict in his favor. He went in wife's favor. He goes to the high court. High court gave it in his favor. Then matter, couple of hierarchies up. Matter comes up to the high court. Conclusion is high court has stated that husband has to pay maintenance. Husband will have to pay maintenance till the time that lady remains unmarried. So unmarried, unremarried, to be more uh, accurate, unremarried ex-wife incapable of maintaining herself has right to maintenance beyond इद्दत. तो अगर आप तलाक के बाद दूसरी शादी नहीं करते हैं और आप केपेबल नहीं है खुद को मेंटेन करने के लिए, आप अपने स्पाउस से मेंटेनेंस तब भी मांग सकते हैं बियॉन्ड इद्दत पीरियड. सो फॉर एवर एंड एवर एंड एवर. ओके. Oh, this is mandatory update. I didn't want to cover it, but I somehow felt compelled to give you an update on what happened. Bombay High Court has granted bail to Aryan Khan in drugs cruise case. We have already discussed this story in previous episodes, so I'm not getting into details. Uh, there are cases and counter cases being filed. Mr. Wankhede is now facing, the music. Maharashtra government is trying to rope him in some sort of controversy. A police case has been filed, FIR has been lodged against him, extortion charges are being made. So that's things are getting murkier. There's this beautiful episode conducted by Shekhar Gupta in Cut the Clutter, in which he explained the entire controversy step by step. I would recommend all of you to go to the print and check out that episode relating to Aryan Khan controversy by Shekhar Gupta. So that will give you much better idea than any of these normal news channels would. Okay, so Mukul Rohtagi, former Attorney General of India, represented Aryan Khan. Big shots. Okay, so I think Gauri Khan must be waiting with the thali of aarti in her hands. आगे बढ़ते हैं. Last news item for the day: Arjun Gopal versus Union of India. Some of you might be aware of this fact that Supreme Court last year imposed prohibition on manufacturing, sale and purchase of firecrackers. Okay. Arjun Gopal versus Union of India. Despite ban on manufacture of firecrackers, it was found that some companies were still using banned ingredients in firecrackers. So there is not a blanket ban on firecrackers. They can come up with green crackers. Now, I'm not fully aware of the fact what are green crackers, but basically those crackers would cause less pollution and will not contain certain chemicals which have been outlawed. So one such chemical is barium. So it has been found that there are a couple of companies in Tamil Nadu which are still using barium and barium derivatives in their firecrackers. And thus, Supreme Court took up notice. They have also scolded Joint Director of CBI at Chennai. In this entire thing, they have made an observation which is worth noting. This is something Diwali is approaching. So I just wanted to end with this slide. I will definitely do a quiz. Many people have this in mind that Supreme Court imposed restriction only against Hindu festival of Diwali. Well, that's not true. Nowhere it says that restriction is imposed on Diwali. The judgment says restriction is related to use of firecrackers, right? Okay, so that's the reason Supreme Court had to give this clarity. They said the issue of firecrackers is only for the time being, but the main matter related to stubble burning, which is the main cause of air pollution in North India, especially Delhi. The stubble burning is pending and we haven't got time to deal with that. After vacations, right now Supreme Court is on vacation, we will hear that issue too. And they also remarked that this ban is not targeted at any particular religious community. So just to clear the air around it. Okay, so let's solve a few questions and I will go through the chat box meanwhile. Mark Zuckerberg, Shaurya says, gets only $1 as salary from Facebook. That's hilarious. And there is also consideration. It's valid, yes, of course. Part says that Mirzapur actually took place somewhere in UP. Obviously, Mirzapur is in UP, so वहीं पे होना था. There was some Rajiv Gandhi controversy related to Saira Bano case. Yes, not Saira, Shah Bano. Shah Bano is the name. Joji and किसने पूछा था? Ishan. Ishan. There was a very controversial judgment called Shah Bano case. Read up more about Shah Bano controversy. I might add that in the next class. Question is, Supreme Court formed an expert committee headed by Desh to investigate Pegasus snooping case. So who is going to head that committee? Correct answer is option A, retired Justice R.V. Ravindran. So Ninya, that's correct. Prachi, that's correct. Vanshika, that's correct. Ilma, Fatima, that's correct. Ishan, that's right. I think all of you gave the right answer. Anuj deleted his text, so might be that was the only wrong answer. Next question on your screen. Aryan Khan was arrested under dash. Aryan Khan was arrested under Indian Penal Code 1890, NDPS Act 1985, IT Act 2000, CRPC 1973. Very easy question. I'm basically trying to give you a reminder of what we have covered in last half an hour. So B is the right answer. Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act 1985. Answer this one. The court held that unremarried ex-wife incapable of maintaining herself has right to maintenance beyond dash. The court held that the unremarried ex-wife incapable of maintaining herself has right to maintenance beyond dash. Your options are marriage, divorce, lifetime, iddat. So yes, she can claim maintenance till lifetime, but beyond lifetime she can't. So if anybody picked option C, that's incorrect. Beyond lifetime तो नहीं मांग सकते ना, मरने के बाद कैसे मांगेंगे? Anyways, so correct answer for this one is option D. So Modi ji is finally here. Modi ji, we miss you a lot. Okay. Next question on your screen. Does son-in-law have a right over father-in-law's property? Not so relevant question, just for the sake of entertainment. If you remember the news story that we discussed today. Does the son-in-law have a right over father-in-law's property? Yes, no, maybe. Yes, if he's married in that family for 20 years, there should be another option, option E. Yes, if your father-in-law adopted you. Correct answer is option B, no. Chaliye, let's move on. What is the full form of Kekoka? Yeah, Kakoka. What is the full form of Kakoka? It's very easy to find out. Karnataka control of Karnataka Control of Organized Crimes Act. Karnataka Control of Offensive Crimes Act, Organized Crimes Prevention Act, Organized Crimes Abolition Act. A, B, C, D. Correct answer is option A. It is Organized Crimes Act. Last question for the day. The complainant in Rahul Gandhi defamation case has sought a compensation of how much money for saying why all thieves have Modi surname? Your options are your options are 40 lakh. अरे वो तो है ही नहीं. अच्छा 20 crores, 20 lakhs, 50 crores, 50 lakhs. So option A, 20 crores, option B, 20 lakhs, option C, 50 crores, option D, 50 lakhs. Correct answer is quite simple and straightforward. Option A, 20 crores. Chile guys. So with this note, I KP Singh signing off. Thank you so much for attending. Do leave your feedback. I am keeping this session light because most of our students are right now worried about their board exam, so I don't want to burden you much. We will still keep covering the most important news item. If you want me to cover any particular news which you thought we missed out, please leave a comment after this live stream ends and we will cover that issue in the next episode. Thank you so much for attending. I hope you guys like this session. I KP Singh signing off. Take care. Bye.